Jason, and glad to have you here with me today. Now, I want to ask everybody something here, all right? If silver, all right, if silver is the most conductive, most industrially critical, and historically one of the most valuable metals in the world, then why on earth is it trading at only $42 and change per troy ounce? Very good question that I raise. See, why is something so essential like silver, right? Something that's so essential to our economy, priced like scrap metal, while the same system that prints trillions out of thin air tells you that inflation is under control, right? Now, I'll tell you why. It's because silver isn't just a metal, okay? It's not just a metal. It's a mirror. It reveals the truth about our broken monetary system that we all know is broken. I mean, that's no secret. And the powers that be can't afford to let that truth out. So, silver has been money for thousands of years, right? And the reason I bring this up is because for those of you that have been, stacking silver in hopes that it would hit, $100,000 an ounce, like Bix Weir says, I think, honestly, what Bix Weir says, I think is all nonsense. I think he peddles a bunch of crap that gets him followers, all right, and gets him views, because he always sends the same email. Oh, silver is going to hit $100,000 an ounce. It's going to hit $150,000 an ounce. One day it's going to hit $500,000 an ounce. It is the most ridiculous crap I've ever heard. Now, I fell for that for a while, but then after getting the same email over and over and over and over again about this pie in the sky, $150,000 an ounce, okay? Here's the thing. If it hit $150,000 an ounce, what would that do with any other commodity out there in the world? I mean, seriously, let's think about that for a second. What exactly would that do to every other commodity out there? Now, I'm not an expert, but I'm just using basic, fundamental common sense and observation skills here, okay? So let's think about this because again, silver is now at $42 and change per ounce right now, as I'm discussing this as of September 14th, okay? So I have made gains, which is great, with the amount of silver that I have stacked. I have made gains, and the people that are in my family that have silver have made gains. So it is trending the way we all want it. But is it realistically going to hit $100,000 an ounce? I don't think so personally, because again, silver has been money for thousands of years, even back in the biblical time periods, right? When our founders wrote the Constitution, it literally referenced a dollar as a measurement tied to silver, not paper, not debt, silver, right? A silver round. Okay, or not so much a silver round, but silver in general. But today, Wall Street and global banks flood the markets with paper contracts, futures, derivatives, options that let them sell millions of ounces that they don't even have, that they don't even physically have in their hands, right? It's a fake supply. It's manipulation, right? It's what is it called? Fractional banking, right? Now, here's the kicker. 90% of all gold that has ever been mined in history still exists, but most silver is gone. It's burnt up in industry. It's buried in landfills, inside electronics, inside of solar panels, right? It's used in solar panels. A lot of people don't know that. It's used in batteries. It's used in our computers and our flat screen TVs, our medical equipment, and silver is literally disappearing even while demand skyrockets. So why doesn't the price reflect that? That's a question that I often ask, because here's the thing. If silver broke free, quite literally, if it were priced honestly, it would blow the lid off this entire financial system. It would expose the dollar for what it is, paper debt, okay? Now, why does this matter right now? Let's talk about the system that we're living in. We have $34 trillion in national debt. Inflation keeps eating up our paychecks, and the government's answer is to tax you more, right? To print more. See, that's why I think President Trump is pushing these tariffs. That's why he's been talking about restructuring the tax code, moving us away from the federal income tax and closer to a flat consumption tax. Because when you let the IRS dig into every dollar of your labor, you're enslaved, quite frankly. I mean, that's really all there is to it. So I want you to imagine a system where you keep most, if not all of your paycheck, where you keep your income and only pay taxes on what you spend. See, that to me is freedom. That's called accountability. And that's why silver matters, because silver is real. It's supposed to be untaxed. It's outside the system, and it's physically in your hand. Now, let's talk about the manipulation for a moment. Here's what they don't want you to know. Every single day, millions of ounces of paper silver are traded on the COMEX, right? The commodity exchange market. The same few big banks like JP Morgan, Citigroup, HSBC, you name it, right? They short the market. They bet against silver. They push down the price. So you, the consumer, the American people, the investor, they want you to believe that it's worthless. But behind closed doors, they're hoarding the physical silver. See, I've always heard that millionaires stack gold, but billionaires stack silver. Now, I don't know where I've heard that from. I've heard it from multiple people. And it's interesting to know that it is a true fact. JP Morgan alone has stacked over 600 million ounces of physical silver. Why? Because they know the game. They know that when the dam breaks, silver isn't going to just stay at $42 an ounce. It's going to go to 100, 200, even possibly 300 or more per ounce. The same way it did in 1980 when it shot from $6 to $50 practically overnight. Now, the other part I want to talk about is the collapse of the dollar, because here's the reality. The dollar is dying. It's backed by nothing but faith and military might, right? Countries around the world, the BRICS nations like China, Russia, India, they're moving away from the dollar. They're buying gold, they're buying silver, and they're trading in local currencies. So the question happens to be, what happens when the world no longer wants the dollar, right? Hyperinflation, shortages, and ultimately a reset in the system. And when that reset comes, do you want to be holding paper promises from the government? Or do you want to be holding something tangible, real, and universally recognized as money? Well, what's recognized as money? Well, per the Constitution, silver. And the Bible talks about it all the time, gold and silver. It's right there in God's word. Now, let's discuss a little bit about Trump's mission for a second. Say what you want about Trump, but here's the truth, okay? Here's the truth. He understands the game. See, when he talks about tariffs, he's not just talking about protecting American jobs. He's talking about bringing wealth back inside our borders. When he pushes for tax reform, he's talking about giving freedom back to the worker. And when he rails against the Federal Reserve, against the deep state financial system, what he's really pointing to is the manipulation. The same manipulation that keeps silver suppressed and keeps you and I enslaved under debt. And Trump knows that if America is ever going to break free, we need sound money, fair taxes, and an honest system. So let's talk about the future of silver for a moment. Let's fast forward a little bit, all right? Now, when silver finally breaks free, when paper contracts finally collapse under the weight of physical shortages, that's when I think we're honestly going to see fireworks. Industries won't be able to get enough silver. Investors are going to panic. Everyday people will start to realize that they should have been stacking it years ago. And that's when the true value will be revealed. Not $42, not even $100, but $200, maybe possibly $300, maybe higher per ounce. Now remember, I'm not an investor, or I'm not how should I say it? I am not a financial advisor. I am not an expert on the field, okay? I am just an everyday Joe Blow out here in the American public that uses his observation skills. Because once the trust in the fiat dollar dies, right, the world will run back to silver and gold because they need something that's tangible and real, just like it always has. So let me leave you with this to ponder. Don't wait for the system to take action, right? Don't wait for the system to collapse, I should say, to take action. Don't wait for Wall Street to tell you it's time, because you know darn well when they're telling you, it's already over. Don't wait for the government to come save you. Okay? See, silver is freedom. Silver is protection. Silver is truth in your hand while the world burns paper. And as the system crumbles, as Trump pushes tariffs, as we fight tax reform, as the people demand real money and real accountability, silver is going to be the lever, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, but that's going to be the lever that flips the script. Because when manipulation ends and when the people take authority back, when we refuse to be slaves to a paper system, that's when silver rises. And that's when America rises. Don't forget to subscribe to the People's Authority. Thank you for listening. Until next time, we'll see you on the next video. God bless.